Yo, what's good? Everyday Superpower, the place where you learn about body language, non-verbal communication and everything in between. Signing in. I got a little minute, I'm a little tired, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I thought, you know what, let's find something to talk about, and today I want to talk about this, yeah? I want to ask. What do I want to ask? I want to ask. I don't know the right question, yeah? I've got an idea of where we're going with this one though. So I want to ask you, is it strong to be an angry man? Is anger a necessity for the masculine? Is anger masculine? Do you respond with aggression? Do you respect aggression? Do you respect and listen to the aggressive man? Have you been brought up acknowledging the angry, aggressive man to be a strong man? Does aggression and anger signify strength in men? For the most part, this could, encompass both the man and the woman, but we're just going to talk about men. So, we think men think logically, yeah? Rationally. And the opposite of that, the counterbalance would be to be irrational, to be illogical. Now, men tend to see through the lens of logic. We can talk facts. We can talk problem solving. Whereas a woman primarily may speak through the lens and in the realm of emotion. So when a man tries to console a woman who's in a bad state of mind, he will approach her in the spirit of problem solving. And oddly, this isn't the right response, as the woman perceives that as unnecessary because she wants an emotional support. She wants to be heard. She wants understanding as opposed to a logical, factual resolution to the problem. So we may perceive the emotional as feminine and the logical and the rational as masculine, but that's not to say we don't possess both characteristics within man and within woman. Like the yin and the yang, as you can see, we have the black and the white. We have the yes and the no, the left and the right. We have the masculine and the feminine, right? But within those two halves, we have two smaller circles, yeah? Which represents the feminine within the masculine and the masculine within the feminine, so we can possess feminine qualities quite comfortably as a man. If you are a creative such as myself, that is feminine. To be creative and to create, such as childbirth, is a feminine trait. Okay? So, anger is an emotion. And to be angry is to be emotional. And to be emotional is to be within your femininity. So the angry, aggressive man isn't masculine because he is not holding frame in a logical and rational manner. He is reacting in an emotional way, in an illogical way. Anger is the most destructive force as far as being blinded by emotion is concerned. The actions you take whilst being enraged will come back to bite you tenfold when you sober up. So do you repress anger? Maybe you're a naturally angry person. I've thrown plenty of temper tantrums in my time, I know that. And I still am triggered from time to time in particular circumstances, in communications with particular people. Naturally, it's my nature. But I feel it and I experience it and I know it exists. And I don't react verbally. I sit and understand and allow it to flow through me. If I was to start throwing things, if I was to respond in a violent manner, if I was to respond in an aggressive manner, where is it going to get me? It might get me stabbed. If I'm in America, it might get me shot. It might have me lose my job. It might have me go to prison for what? A moment's emotion? Where I can go to prison and be locked up like an animal with many overtly, superficially masculine men who have portrayed and overcompensated to conceal and hide the femininity. So, how is that? Men in prison, no women. Testosterone is high as it's ever been, and everybody is in there down to feminine reaction. Not acting logically and rationally. So acting in your superficial masculine, as we men are aggressive, we men do get angry. It is a natural emotion that can be utilised to drive us and utilised in investment to spur forward and propel ourselves in the right, correct manner. That overt, superficial usage of the emotion to express ourselves emotionally in the wrong manner has resulted in putting us in a box away from the women. The only feminine that exists now is within ourselves because we have none in our present arrangement. When you engage with somebody or when you speak passionately on something you don't like or something that stirs you in the wrong way, you will express that through your body, through the beating of your hand. You feel that, you hear that, and you know that when you've seen people do that, but you may not have clocked on to what it truly represents. It makes me shiver when somebody is speaking and they need to nail that opinion. Initially, prior to the education and information, I would believe that this was utilised as a way of nailing a point across and really emphasising the emphasis needed on these words in this statement. But now, as I see it, it is a leaky tap, and what is being released is a toxic and negative, aggressive vibration. And when I say toxic, I don't speak on what... When I say toxic, I am referring to toxic masculinity, but I believe in the aggression and I believe in the biological capabilities and importance of utilizing and harnessing anger as a man. But when it's used in nothing but a superficial manner in order to soothe oneself against the feeling of weakness and inferiority, that's when I deem it toxic. The man who you see who is always in conflict, who others may deem as a masculine man because he always fights and gets into physical altercations, I don't respect and I see through the mask. They are the least scary people on planet Earth because I see that they're trying to conceal that scared child. That emotional reaction exposes that man as a feminine male. And I'm not scared of that. I'm not frightened of that. And when somebody acts towards you in an aggressive manner and you can look them back in the eye, as to which I have done as of recent, when one of my elders has tried to intimidate me through proposals and discussions and has looked me dead in the eye in a way I've not experienced in years. I've not needed to respond because I understand. So I look back. I psychologically take a step back because I'm not about to be absorbed in this whirlwind. And when they realise that the individual in front of them is well reserved and not frightened, the child comes forward. Because in their realm, that image means that others should be scared because that's their own projection on the situation, because that's how they react to people who may look physically frightening. How well can you handle anger and how do you express it? To be harnessed and utilised, it's a powerful force, but to allow it to just run freely and do its thing and possess you in a demonic manner, it's incredibly volatile, unnecessary, and you cannot live as a man allowing that to happen. Let us speak on a worst case scenario. You are a father and something happens to your child and you have to react in a particular manner towards an individual who may have stirred some sort of commotion in regards to the security of your own child. It would be very easy to react in an aggressive, overt, violent manner, but in doing so, you're going to get into trouble, which will take you away from your child for a very long time and leave you without the job prospects you have, the career prospects, because now you have a stain on your name due to the way you acted, reacting within a very brief moment. So even in the worst case scenario, you must acknowledge how you feel, know what you are capable of, and find that power within taking a moment to step back and plan this out like a military strategist, as opposed to acting inappropriate and existing within your feminine. Men are rational and logical. And if you want to be respected as a man, you must act in such way. To be aggressive and angry is natural and not a bad thing. But how you let it manifest is ever so important. And on that note, I'm signing out. Click subscribe.